Peace to you, traveler of this world. If you are watching this, it is not by accident. Nothing in life is. This moment, this very breath you're taking, it has brought us together across space and time. You have arrived here just before a powerful shift, the 555 portal. This is no ordinary calendar alignment. It's a spiritual window, a sacred invitation. You see, on May 12th, energy converges in a way that has not happened for a long time. The number 5, a symbol of change, movement, and spiritual adventure, appears in triplet, the 5th month, the 5th day, and the universal year of 5, 2 plus 0 plus 2, 5 sorcerer 9, the ending of a cycle, merging with the 5s. And now, we are in the echo of this moment, and I ask you, are you awake to what this means for your life? This isn't just numerology or mysticism. This is a reflection of you, because you are the portal. You are the doorway through which change must walk. When I lived in silence for 3 years in the Himalayan caves, I remember watching how the seasons changed without asking permission. The trees shed leaves without regret. The river never stopped flowing because it feared the unknown. But we humans, we hold on. So today, I will offer you 5 truths, not ideas, not philosophies, but truths I've lived, bled, and wept for. And these 5 truths, if you sit with them deeply, may change the direction of your life. Let us begin with the first. Truth. 1. The illusion of tomorrow. So many people live like tomorrow is promised. They say, I'll start meditating next week. I'll apologize when things calm down. I'll follow my dream when the timing is right. But tomorrow never arrives. The Buddha once told his disciples, the trouble is, you think you have time. When I was 27, I left behind my career, my possessions, even my name, to walk the monk's path. And people said, why now? You're too young. But in the temple, we buried someone every week, some older, some younger than me. Death does not check your schedule before it knocks. So ask yourself, if this were your final week, what would you change? Who would you forgive? What truth have you been afraid to live out loud? This portal is not about predicting the future. It's about honoring the present. There is no more time to delay your healing, your art, your truth. Let this truth sit in your heart as we move forward. Truth 2. Stillness reveals the self. We live in a world obsessed with movement. Hustle. Noise, notifications. But the portal does not open to the busy. It opens to the still. I once spent 45 days in complete darkness and silence during a retreat. No light, no sound, no human contact. The only thing I had was my breath and my fear. And yet, on the 19th day, I stopped resisting. I stopped trying to escape into thoughts or memories. And in that stillness, I met myself. Not the version I showed to the world, but the version that was always there, watching silently beneath the surface. You don't need a cave to do this. You just need a moment. Right now, wherever you are, close your eyes, take a breath in, and let it go. Again, in and out. That is life. That is presence. That is you, without the mask, without the title, without the fear. This portal invites you to become intimate with your own presence. And in doing so, you begin to remember what truly matters. Truth 3. Let go or be dragged clinging is suffering. That's what the Buddha taught, and I know it to be true. I once met an old farmer who had lost his son in a storm. Every morning, he still cooked an extra plate of food as if his son might return. I asked him, "Why do you do this, knowing he will not eat it?" He looked at me and said, "Because the pain reminds me he was real." We often confuse pain with connection. But holding on to pain is not the same as holding on to love. Pain left unhealed becomes identity. And when your identity is built on wounds, you will protect your suffering like treasure. This portal is your chance to release. Forgiveness is not about the other person. It's about your freedom. Let go of who you were so you can become who you are. You cannot walk through the portal carrying everything from your past. You must drop what no longer serves. Old anger, old stories, even old dreams, if they no longer fit the person you are becoming. Closing of page 1. The breath before the leap. So far, we've uncovered the illusions of tomorrow, the power of stillness, and the pain of clinging. These first 3 truths are the foundation of inner transformation, but we are not done. 2 more truths remain. And they are deeper, more challenging, and perhaps more liberating than anything we've explored yet. But take a breath now. Let what you've heard settle like snow in still water. And when you're ready, if you're still with me, I thank you. It means you are ready to hear what most people are too busy to receive. The silence between the truths we just uncovered is not an emptiness. It is preparation, like the soil before the seed, like the breath before the word. Now we journey deeper into the final 2 truths. These are not truths you merely understand. They are truths you must live. Let us continue. Truth 4. The mirror is everywhere. We often search for meaning outside ourselves, in books, in gurus, in achievements. But rarely do we stop to look in the most sacred temple, the mirror. Everything you react to in others is a reflection of something within yourself. When someone's arrogance irritates you, ask, "Where do I carry pride?" When someone's pain moves you to tears, ask, "Where do I still bleed?" During my early years as a monk, I lived under a teacher who seemed cold, harsh. He never praised, never smiled. I judged him often, silently. One morning during walking meditation, I stumbled on a stone. He looked at me and said, "You trip because your eyes are on me, not on your feet." That one sentence shook me. I realized I was obsessed with being seen as good rather than being good. He wasn't cold. He was a mirror reflecting my ego. When we stop blaming others and start asking, "What is this showing me about myself?" that is the beginning of true wisdom. The 555 portal opens the door to heightened self-awareness. Not judgment, not guilt, just the simple act of seeing ourselves clearly, with compassion, with curiosity. Like looking at your own child. Not to scold, but to understand. So look around you. Who triggers you? Who inspires you? Both are teachers, both are mirrors, and both are guiding you home. Truth 5. You are already whole. This truth is the most hidden, because the world constantly tells you, you are not enough. You need more money, more success, more beauty, more time. But I am here to tell you what the ancient sages, mystics, and saints have always known. You are already whole. You are already enough. Not after you heal, not after you achieve. Right now. In this breath. I know this because I spent years trying to earn my worth. I woke at 3 a.m. to meditate. I fasted for days. I memorized scriptures. And yet, one day during a walking meditation in the forest, I saw a bird with a broken wing hopping on the ground, still singing. That bird knew no mantras. It kept no vows. It did not seek enlightenment. And yet it sang. It reminded me that wholeness is not about perfection. It is about presence. You don't need to become something. You only need to remember what you already are. This portal, this sacred window of energy, is not here to make you more. It is here to help you shed the layers that cover your truth. So, ask yourself, what am I still trying to prove? To whom and why? Because the soul doesn't seek validation. Only the ego does. You are not broken. You are becoming. You are not behind. You are on time. Integration. The Sacred Five. So now, dear listener, we've walked through the 5 truths. Tomorrow is an illusion. Live now. Stillness reveals the self. Make space for presence. Let go or be dragged. Release what holds. You, the mirror, is everywhere. Learn from your reflections. You are already whole. Return to your essence. Each of these is a key, but a key is useless if it remains in your pocket. You must use it, practice it, live it. Let these truths echo within you as the 555 portal prepares to reach its peak. Let them guide your choices, your thoughts, your connections. A moment of practice. Let's sit together, just for a moment. Close your eyes if you feel safe. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold it gently, and exhale slowly. As you sit here now, know this: there is nothing you need to fix in this moment. There is nothing you need to do. Just be. Let that stillness carry you through the rest of today. And when challenges arise, as they surely will, return to these truths. They are your compass. We have journeyed through all 5 truths. But there is still something more. A space beyond words, where the mind cannot walk, but the heart knows the way. Here, I will share with you how to integrate these teachings into your daily life. Stories from pilgrims, ancient rituals for the portal days, and the final reflections to carry with you through May 12th and beyond. The truths are not ideas to be admired. They are tools to be used. So far, we've opened the 5 doors: presence over procrastination, stillness over speed, surrender over struggle, reflection over blame, wholeness over perfection. But now comes the part many avoid: integration. How do we live these truths in a world that constantly pulls us away from them? Let me share what I've learned from walking among both monks and lay people, from hermits in Himalayan forests to shopkeepers in crowded Delhi streets. Awareness means nothing if it does not shape your actions. So now, let's walk together through real grounded practices and stories. These are not spiritual performances. They are gentle ways to come home to yourself. Morning ritual. Begin with intention. Not reaction. Most people begin their day by reacting. The alarm blares. They reach for But there is one final reflection we must explore. The deepest question of all. What kind of life will I live on the other side of this portal? Here, I will share with you the closing wisdom, the final page of this sacred journey. The pilgrim's question, the path beyond the portal, and the invitation to return to your own center again and again. Take a deep breath. The pilgrim's question: who are you becoming? There comes a point in every journey where you stop looking at the path ahead and begin looking inward. We have walked far together, you and I, through truths, through rituals, through sacred pauses. But now, let us sit beside the inner fire and ask the question that burns at the center of all transformation. Who are you becoming? This is the question every pilgrim must answer. Because transformation is not about adding more layers, it is about peeling them back until all that remains is the truth of your being. The false self must fall, I was once taught, by an old forest monk who spoke very little. One day, after months of silent companionship, he looked at me and said, "When the mask becomes too heavy, you will finally remember your face. We all wear masks. We are sons, daughters, teachers, performers, saviors, rebels. We put them on to survive. But what happens when the world starts to applaud the mask, and you begin to forget the one wearing it? The portal we speak of, this 555 alignment, it is not about ascension to something greater. It is a descent into what is real. And often, the real is raw, soft, even scared. To become whole, you must be willing to be seen, not by the world, but by yourself, The parts you've hidden, the voices you silence, the tears you swallow. This is the sacred fire, and only what is true can pass through it. The cycle of death and rebirth in every great spiritual tradition, from the Egyptian Book of the Dead to the Upanishads, transformation is described not as evolution, but as death and rebirth. The caterpillar does not become a butterfly by growing wings. It dissolves. It becomes unrecognizable inside the cocoon. So I ask you, what part of you must die now? What belief must be buried? What habit must be honored and then released? Let the old version of you grieve if it must. We do not rush rebirth. We trust it. We honor it. We surrender to it. The portal is not an escape. It is an initiation. The warrior of stillness, it is easy to get lost in the spiritual world, to chase peak experiences, to seek only light. But a true seeker learns to sit with the dark, with the empty, with the silent. You don't need to conquer the world. You need to master the art of not abandoning yourself in the chaos. That is the sacred strength, not to fight harder, but to sit still while the storm passes. To say, I will not run, I will not distract, I will meet myself fully. The monk is not a man who escapes the world. He is the one who sees it clearly without flinching. And you, yes, you, have this same strength within you. Every time you breathe through pain instead of numbing it, every time you choose presence over avoidance, every time you speak your truth without fear, you are walking the path of the warrior of stillness. Visioning beyond the portal, let us return to the question, who are you becoming? Close your eyes now, just for a moment. Picture yourself not tomorrow, but after the transformation. What do you look like? How do you move? Who are you surrounded by? What is no longer weighing you down? Don't chase that image. Instead, begin acting from it. Let your decisions come from the future you who is already healed, already forgiven, already awakened. This is the secret of living the vision now. Not as a goal, but as a vibration you already carry. Because the truth is, you don't become someone new. You return to who you've always been. The final passage awaits. We have now arrived at the final gate. You have heard the 5 truths. You have practiced integration. You have asked the sacred question of the soul. But now, one final offering remains. Here, I will share the last part of this journey, the closing ritual, the pilgrim's blessing, and a final story from my own life, a story I have never shared publicly before. It will complete what this portal has opened, and it will offer you the blessing to walk your path with clarity, courage, and grace. Take a long, deep breath. You've walked with me for a long time now, longer than most will ever choose to. And for that, I bow to you, truly, because staying present, staying open, staying vulnerable, in a world that rewards speed and distraction, is a revolutionary act. And now, as we prepare to close this sacred circle, I offer you 3 final gifts, a ritual, a blessing, and a story from my own path, one that carries the final key to this portal's power. Let us begin with the ritual. The closing ritual. Walking through the portal ritual is not about religion. Ritual is about remembrance. It reminds the soul that it is not lost, that it has always known the way. This is a simple ritual for the night of May 11th, or the early morning of May 12th, when the energy of the 555 portal reaches its apex. You don't need candles or crystals. You don't need chanting or sacred texts. You only need presence. Here's what you do. Choose a quiet space, anywhere you can be alone and undisturbed for 10-15 minutes. Sit with your back straight, eyes closed. Light a small candle if you wish. It represents the eternal light, within you. Place your hands over your heart and say inwardly, I release what no longer serves me. I forgive what I once carried. I remember who I truly am. Then, visualize a doorway. Any shape. Any color. It is the portal. Imagine yourself stepping through it. And as you do, feel yourself leaving behind the version of you that no longer needs to be carried. End with silence. One deep breath. One whispered word of thanks. This ritual is your way of saying yes to the next chapter. You are not waiting for change. You are choosing it. The pilgrim's blessing. Now, allow me to speak this blessing over you, not as a monk, not as a teacher, but as a fellow traveler. May your feet be guided not by fear, but by the rhythm of your truth. May your breath remember the silence before the noise. May your heart be brave enough to break open and soft, enough to let the light in. May your past become the soil, not the shadow. And may your presence be a sanctuary for yourself and for those still finding the path. Let this blessing soak into your bones. It was written not with ink, but with the quiet of many long nights and many long walks. I give it to you freely. The final story, The Pebble and the River. There is one story I have not shared before, not in books, not in teachings, not in satsang. It happened during my final silent retreat, a 90-day vow of silence deep in the Ya'ai mountains. Each day I walked beside a river, not to go anywhere, but simply to watch, to be. One day I found a small round pebble on the path, smooth, black, ordinary. I picked it up, not knowing why. I carried it with me for days. In my robe, in my palm, in my bedroll, and then one morning I dropped it by mistake into the river. At first I panicked. I reached. I searched. But the current had taken it. That evening, I sat by the same river, heart heavy. My teacher approached silently. I pointed to the water and said, I lost something. He sat beside me. We listened to the river. Then he said only this, You didn't lose it. It returned. I didn't understand, but I stopped searching. And now, years later, I finally understand. Nothing real can be lost. Not love, not truth, not your soul. What you release into the flow of life, if it was ever meant to be yours, will return. And if it doesn't, it was never a part of your becoming. So stop gripping. Let the river carry what it must. Trust what remains in your hands. The door is now open, dear one. You have walked the 5 truths. You have practiced the rituals. You have faced the reflection. And now, you stand at the edge of the new world, your world. The 555 portal is not outside of you. It is you, and it will never truly close. Not if you continue to live from the truths it revealed. But before we part ways, one final closing must take place. In the final conversation, I will share the last meditation, a practice to seal this transformation and carry its energy forward for the weeks and months ahead. I will also leave you with a sacred mantra that can be repeated when doubt returns. It is a soft goodbye, but not the end. Take a final deep breath for today. Let it be full, spacious, and true. We began this journey with a question: what must reach you before tomorrow? And now, having walked through truths and silence, through presence and practice, we arrive not at an answer, but a remembrance. What needed to reach you was you. The version of yourself you may have forgotten. The one that has been buried beneath layers of obligation, fear, roles, and noise. The one who doesn't hustle to be loved. The one who doesn't perform to belong. the one who simply is. And now, let us seal what has been awakened. Final practice, the meditation of becoming. Please, wherever you are, sit gently. You may close your eyes if that feels safe, or lower your gaze softly. Let's take 3 breaths together. Inhale through the nose, hold gently, and exhale slowly. Again, inhale presence, hold compassion, exhale judgment, and once more, inhale truth, hold stillness, exhale fear. Now place your hand on your chest. Feel the quiet pulse beneath your palm. That is the rhythm of your life. That is the drum of your soul. Now, silently or aloud, speak these words after me. I remember who I am. I am not behind. I am not broken. I am not alone. I am ready. Again, I am ready. Let the breath be your bridge to presence. Let your stillness be your strength. The mantra to carry forward in our tradition. When we complete a sacred teaching, we leave the alley.